Hi. I don't know if I'm making it onto the camera at the moment. I'm dead tired, dead beat. I have just had enough kind of thing of packing and waiting and having a packed house, and I can moan and moan and moan, but anyways, it won't help. So, there's no rest for the wicked, right? Okay, so what I have to do is I have to do this story of what happened to me when I was after I had my son and gave him up for adoption. I was lying in my bed in Rhodes' house in Doornfontein, and it was a girls' hostel, and I was lying in my bed, and I was tired, just given birth, and I was about 2 days out of hospital, and anyway, it was dusk, and there was a little light that I noticed. It was like a pinpoint of light, and in fact it was right in front of me, and it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger until I could see into the light, it was like a tunnel of light, like the pupil of someone's eye. If you're looking through someone's eye, and they're coming in, you can actually start to see what they see, Anyway, so through God's eye, which is what I eventually decided it was, I was able to see Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. Now, how I knew it was them is because of mental telepathy. I mean, geez, there are so many NDE's accounts, and mental telepathy seems to be the whole thing, Here on earth, it's schizophrenia, voices in your head, deal with it, But in heaven, you don't need to open your mouth, basically. Anyway, so I see Joseph, Jesus, and Mary, and God says to me, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, I want to stay young like that forever," because they were beautiful. I mean, it's just breathtaking. It's, I just wanted to cry and laugh, and I went through all sorts of emotions and everything like that, and anyway, Jesus held his arms open, and I felt like I was flying, right? So, and Mother Mary gave me half a smile, and Joseph wasn't too, well, let's say he was impressive with his, when he was standing there, he held up something. I can't remember what it was. It looked like a little dead rat or a ferret or something, He was holding it up, and it was red anyway and bloody. It looked bloody. And he said, well, not he said, well, I thought it was him, but it must be God who said, "Paint me for 2 years or you are this." Alright, so anyway, that was the one part, and then I went flying with him some more, and I saw an old man of 40,000 years old, and he was being carried on a stretcher, and it was, there were a group of people at one point. There was a lady at one point. I did it in a painting. If you go to southafricanartist.com, you'll find those paintings where I tried to show what happened. It's not easy. And people who have had weird experiences in life will tell you that it's not just have the experience and tell. You can't do that, because people are not going to believe you. That I tried. I mean, I had this experience in 1986, and I was taken into Sterkfontein for the second time, and I tried to tell them about the whole thing, everything that had happened to me, and they just said to me it's hallucination. Anyway, well, besides all that, it doesn't matter now. I believe what I believe, they believe what they believe. I take the medicine on earth. One day I'll be free of all that shit. Sorry, I don't mean to swear. Anyway, So I see heaven with God. It's just beautiful. It's wonderful, and I find myself back in my body, and all I want to do is tell somebody. All I want to do. But me, I'm just human. Since I'd been 10 years old when I was saved at a church in King Williamstown, South Africa, I went, I prayed every day. Please God, just show me a vision of eternity. Please, please, you know. I won't tell anyone. Of course, the minute I see this, I'm 21 or 22. I think I'm 22 when I see the vision. I want to tell someone. Now, I'm in a girls' hostel, so I get up off the bed and I open my bedroom door, and I see a girl coming down the passage. I think her name was Joan. And I thought, I'm going to tell Joan. And immediately I was struck down, basically. Shit. Anyway, so I was all cramped and broken, and I couldn't move. They took me to a hospital. They gave me an injection in the hospital. And, well, they said, the doctor said to me, stop acting, but I wasn't acting. I couldn't move. I was stuck in a kind of a broken fetal position. Anyway, gave me some kind of injection, and I eventually relaxed, and I came back to Rhodes House, and it was just amazing. So of course now I've got it in my head. I must paint for 2 years. I must paint him, you know, and all sorts of things are going through my head, and I've realized obviously I mustn't tell anybody, you know. I was struck dumb. Anyway, so I was sitting with my sketch pad, and I was trying to remember Mary's lips and the colour of the eyes of everybody I saw, etc., etc. So after that, a couple of, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm not sure. Time was weird. I didn't know much about time after that. I mean, it was quite a trying time and everything. But anyway, I I get this job to go as a cook, to go to Botswana and go and you know, they're going to go build a spa in Botswana. So me and the guy, we get in the bakkie, prepared. The bakkie's loaded with supplies. The other guys are all going to meet us there. And I mean, it's a long trip, you know, Joburg to about 40 kilometers from Maun. That's our destination. So we're traveling, and we go. And of course me, I'm still chatting to God. I haven't stopped. I have, you know, and I mean, it's not, of course, I'm not talking loud to him, you know, it's just me and mental telepathy, let's put it that way. Anyway, we're talking and carrying on, and I'm not really paying much attention to anybody. And God says to me, well, what do you want? I said, oh, please, come on. Won't you just paint Jesus' face in the sky for me? You know, just once. I mean, it was a clear blue day. We'd already hit a dust road somewhere, and anyway, we were rumbling along, and all of a sudden I saw this white cloud come sort of scudding by. It was the only cloud in the sky, and whew, it was you can't describe it. Suddenly there was Jesus' face in the sky. It was beautiful. It was really, now Jesus, when I saw him in the vision, totally handsome, I tell you, blow me over, you know. Anyway, so this beautiful face in the sky, painted with the clouds. Anyway, I've got it, so I'm totally over the moon. I said to him, you must sign it, you know. That's what I said to him. Anyway, so I said to the guy, I said to him, listen, I think I must drive. For some crazy reason, I must drive. Anyway, so he relents. He stops the bakkie. I mean, we're on a dirt road. There was not much traffic on there. There wasn't any, actually. And I get into the driver's seat, and there we go. Now, I mean, me, I can't drive. I haven't got a license, nothing. I'm, what, 22 or so, and I floor it on this dirt road. And I look at the speedo, and we're going about 120, and I lose control, and we flip and roll over, and there the bakkie lies in the dust, and I've climbed out, and he's climbed out, he's nursing his head, but there's nothing wrong with me. I'm totally fine. I think it was such a gas. I was, I just rolled with the bakkie. It was like weird. But anyways, I realized the gravity, we've lost all the tomatoes, all the eggs, and, some supplies, and blah, blah. And of course he's visibly upset because now we're stuck. We haven't got nothing. There's no cars coming for miles and miles. It's flat terrain and no civilization. You can't see a farmhouse for miles. Anyway, we just sat there, and I mean, I didn't have much to say. We just sat there. Is there somebody here? Oh no. Anyway, so we're sitting there. Eventually a truck comes by and helps us and gets us going. Let me just see if this camera is still working. Oh, no. I'd really be upset if it wasn't working. You know how long it's taken me to get to this point where I can actually just talk about it to you on YouTube like I've been meaning to do for so long, and well, anyway, life goes on here. It just gets better and better, and it's harder and harder sometimes. So where was I? So yeah, a truck comes along, picks us up, takes us to our destination, which is a barren place. It's on the side of a river. There is nothing there. I learned later there's apparently a tribe that's living on the other side of the river. The river had a little island on it, and anyway, he set up the tent wasn't destroyed, and what supplies we had and everything. I think we were towed, yes, we were towed, because one day he said to me, the bakkie's yours, because it was stuffed. There was nothing to be done with it. It would never ride again. I think the wreck's still lying there. Anyway, so there we are at this place, 40 k's from Maun, and I'm still talking to God, not really paying attention to much what's going around me. And they set up the tent, and they make a shower, and they make an oven out of an anthill, and the other guys have arrived by this time, and they've set up their tents and etc. So we all camped out there. And anyway, so now I've said to God, you must sign the picture, and I mean, like, so it'd be amazing. And one day the guy wakes me up. He says, you must get up, you must come look at this. So I crawl out of the tent, and I come and stand with him, and he points to the mist. There's mist rolling in over the river, and it's billowing. You can't explain mist to somebody who's never seen it, but it's just, well, you can look it up, or ask somebody who's got the patience to tell you. So anyway, the mist is rolling in, and all of a sudden, it's like a big invisible finger signs the name God. Well, I knew it was God signing. It writes the name God, and I knew God was signing his name. And that was it. And it was like totally out of this world. I was bowled over. I didn't speak to anyone after that, I think I was blasé because I didn't believe anybody saw what I saw. And so I didn't say anything to anybody around me. I mean, I'd learnt I wasn't supposed to talk about this because otherwise I'd be struck again or something. Anyway, so I get going with my things, and I decide to myself, well, that's it. I'm going to walk away with God. I'm going to walk into the mist with him, basically. I'm just going to disappear from the planet basically, and walk with God, because I'm tired. You know, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I mean, when I was in 1981 or 82, I decided, no, it was 81 or 82. I decided that I was going to have a son, have a child, and I spoke to God about it, and I said to him, listen, I've had this head injury which happened early in 1981 or late, I can't remember, but I wasn't well. I knew there was something wrong with me, and somehow I knew I was going to end up not being sort of a normal person, because my head was messed, it was messed up. Couldn't think. I had to train myself to bath after the accident or the head injury or whatever, you know. A guy, I was hiking and he pulled out a knife and tried, I don't know actually what he was going to do, but while he was driving fast, I jumped out of the car and tumbled down the tar road, and I swear I hit that tar hard. Oh! It was such a resounding, cracking blow. Anyway, so yeah, that's that, the head injury. So anyways, in 1981 or 82, I think it was early 82, I said to God, I'm going to, I mean, those days people had to wait up to 7 years to adopt a kid. 7 years, yeah. And they were childless, and I went through, you know, well, anyways, I ended up in Sterkfontein. I was pregnant, and everything was arranged, and I gave my child up for adoption. I mean, like, that's the way I work with God, is that He's in control, right? He does everything, basically, you know, and why He's in control of my life is because with my free will that He's given everyone, I said to Him, rather you be in control, because me, I'll make a stuff up of everything, you know. I mean, I just haven't got that much faith in myself, you know. So besides, nobody does it better than Him, basically. Anyway, so right, where was I? So there we go. I got the God sign, and I'm going to walk away into the mist. And anyways, as I'm getting prepared, oh yes, I forgot to tell you about the fish. I said to God, now listen, I'm going to walk with you, you know, away from all this civilization. How am I going to survive? I need food. Anyway, it wasn't long after that they woke me up again and said, there's a fish for you. It was a fish. I said, where did it come from? No, the kids that were playing in the river, a fish eagle came down, or an eagle, and caught a fish, dropped it, the kids picked it up and brought it over, and it was for me. So anyway, that was my sign that don't worry about food, I'll be provided for. So anyways, now I'm prepared and I've got my thingies and I want to go. And of course I haven't spoken to you. I'm not speaking to anybody around me. They must have thought I was totally nuts. So anyways, I get going, and just as I'm about to take that first step to walk away from civilization, this buggy stops, and I suddenly notice things about the guys around me. They've all got guns. And anyway, so the guy that pulled up in the Jeep, he says to me, get in. Now, I knew who he was. I mean, I knew everybody around. He says, get in, they're going to kill you. And I jumped in, I had everything ready anyway, and that was it. And he drove me all the way back to Springs, to my mother's house, where I was promptly put back in Sterkfontein, because I was in quite a state. I mean, I was thin as a rake, and I was, anyways, head injury, and whatever, all the traumas of my life, it was accumulation, and my bubble burst basically here on earth. But besides that, I had my experience. So that was it. It was amazing. I did try to paint. Oh, what a job. You think doing a video on YouTube about a strange experience is easy? You try and do what I had to do. I couldn't do it. I was thwarted from one end of the world to the other. I couldn't get going, and anyways, eventually I did get paintings done, and I put them I gave them away. I gave most of my paintings away, and anyway, they're on SouthAfricanArtist.com. You'll find them there. I tried to paint what I saw. I mean, so you know, and the thing is, being a mental patient is the thing I lost when I was diagnosed, when everything happened, when I think I was 20, when I was first diagnosed, or 21. I can't remember. When I was first diagnosed, you know, I mean, I was locked up. It was horrific. I was stripped of, what's the word I'm looking for? Of my very being. It's like nobody would ever believe anything I said again, you know. What is the word I'm looking? My integrity. It was gone. People, you know, when somebody says that person's mad, you avoid them. I mean, you know, you don't want to talk to them. You don't want to know them. And I mean, I couldn't get a job properly. I lost touch with it. I mean, the computers had sort of started becoming an office thing, you know, word processing and all that. And I had a word processing course, and I did try to get back in the industry, but with the medication and the trauma and everything that I'd experienced, and giving up my child for adoption, it was kind of hard. Anyways, oh, sorry, I've got a nose. I'm not feeling well. Just miserable I am. My house, it's a mess. I'm waiting for my husband to move all his stuff to his new premises, because, you know, his business has moved to a new premises. Well, he's busy moving stuff now, but it's been like since November 2013, and I mean, what's it today? Today is the 10th of April 2014, and I haven't been able to do anything creative really, paint or write or sing or anything, you know. So ek voel verkramp, you know. I mean, I'm really, I feel like, you know, I'm cramped. I can't express myself. Anyway, so I know I have to do this video. Let me see if it's still working. Oh, thank goodness the battery's holding. Alright, so, I don't even know if you can see me. I don't know. But anyways, so, yeah. And, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, to quote my mom-in-law, you know. I don't know what else to tell you. There's been strange things have happened, like a wormhole. Oh, you know what a wormhole is? I mean, like it's like another dimension. I was sitting in my studio, well, when it was a studio, now it's a storeroom. But when I was sitting there and I was busy working on the computer, and suddenly the wall disappeared, and I could see what was on the other side of the wall. I could see the carports, the car, everything. The whole wall disappeared. It was weird. Anyway, that's the wormhole here. But anyway, I don't know. It's as I say. I've lost my credibility, that's the word, not integrity, my credibility. And I've grown so used to it now. I've been able to admit, when you can admit something, that's more than halfway to sorting out a problem. So anyway, I mean, I admitted I had a drug problem. I admitted I had a drinking problem. I had a sexual problem. I had what else? Gambling problem. Now I've sorted that out. I smoke when the thing lights. I smoke, but I've given up gambling. If I feel the urge to gamble, I've got a game on my computer. I don't use real money, and there I get the feeling that I'm addicted to, which is that feeling of winning. Hey, look, I won $10 million, but, or whatever. It's just the feeling that I'm addicted to, not the sense of money, but in real life, if you're addicted to gambling and you start spending real money, it can be, it's horrible. And alcohol, I gave that up. I became a bar lady. I mean, like, here I am out of Sturkentain, can't get a job in Sturkentain. I realized, I've got to do something, because I mean, they woke me up. Everybody gets woken up in a institution at a certain time in the morning. Anyway, and I kept looking at my watch, and it was 11 o'clock, and I realized, hey, the ladies' bar is open. I must get out of here, But I mean, you're all locked up. Anyway, so I realized, hey, I've got a problem with drinking, because unfortunately I picked up a AA book. I read the 12 steps, and I thought that's what I'm going to apply. And I did. For a job, when I got out, I thought, well, I better get a job. I became a bar lady. The first job I got fired on the first night because I got drunk. I mean, if you've got a problem with alcohol, you can't resist it. You don't realize the implications of alcohol and how it drags you down. So anyway, I gave that up. I mean, it took me 10 years or even more to give up drinking totally, like have it around me. I mean, in a bar, it's all around you, And I fell down a couple of times, fell off the wagon. But I managed to stand tall and not need alcohol ever again in my life. I can say no. I mean, like, you say, no, I don't want to drink. You're in a bar and they all call you stupid. Hey, what's wrong with you? Have a drink, You're rushed with water, Coke, Anyway, so, and I gave up drugs. I wasn't heavy into drugs. I smoked marijuana, and took a little bit of acid at some point, and I think that was all, really. And but I gave that up. I don't find that there's much wrong with marijuana as such, but I'm allergic anyway. It makes me sneeze, and I don't feel comfortable with it, so it helped a lot, I mean, I can't stand the paranoia, and that's what I suffer from. I'm like a paranoid schizophrenic, so I have these issues with being out there. I don't want to be out there, I'm safe at home. I can't stand what's going on in the world nowadays. I mean, people are drowning, and they're taking pictures and photographs. Oh well. Here I am, and the battery, the memory got full. Can you believe it? Anyway, alright, so the memory was full. I was blathering on, and at least for 5 minutes after the battery, the memory got full. So I don't know what I was saying to you now, but anyway, so it's basically that life is strange. I mean, we can't get away from the fact that weird things happen to people, and there are people who not can understand. I mean, like, one man's truth is another man's lie. One man's lie is another one's truth. It's a world full of trickery. I always remember that Desiderato. You can look it up if you want, the Desiderata. It's a beautiful like writing, short and sweet and concise, and captures basically life, what it's about basically. But anyway, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and yeah, anytime you want to write or anything, please feel free. Got plenty of time, not much energy, but plenty of time, so I'll try. I hope I got plenty of time. Well, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to go home. I mean, we all want to go home, eh? Away from this rat race. So there you go. That's my story. Sorry the memory got full and you missed half the conversation, but I hope it helps. I got strength from a lot of people that I watched on YouTube who had given their accounts of their NDEs and strange happenings and such. So thank you to all of you who did that, who wrote their story and did their story and that, because it gave me the push I needed to do it. Yeah, okay. Anyways, alright, so guys, have a good one, and be the best you can be. Alright then, cheers, bye.